Hey, well, another day in work finish. Is it not nice to be finished working? Well, I did hope I would finish a little bit earlier, but this is how it is. Can't always tell what time I will finish, so well, half hour is half hour. Yeah, and if you haven't noticed it, I did actually upload video yesterday. Not one, I did upload two. Yes, I've been a little bit lazy on this, but yeah, I've been working on this long day trip video that I did make. Did record a few hours on a day trip that we did go up to the mountain for snow driving and even go to a glacier. This kind of video is not easy and simple to actually edit. I did even give it a try and put some music in part of it, and I think it happened where I did put it and where it did end. It did somehow work out so perfectly. And yeah, that's just how I want to have it. I'm planning to try to set up everything on my helmet tonight, and if it will not be raining, then we never know if I will go a little bit out and try it. But it also depends on how my shoulder is actually after the accident on Saturday. My arm is still a little bit bad, and it's a kind of injury. It can take a couple of months to fully recovering, because it's actually the self joint that did mess up everything, that's holding everything together. Yeah. Well, if you haven't looked at the my mountain trip video, I would really recommend to take a look at it. I will put a link on it. I will put it on in the end of this video. Yeah, it was really nice trip, and I did even manage to, yeah, what do you say, de-rim my left front tire, and of course we did have to take the rim off and put the wheel, fix the wheel and make it usable. But so you know, guys, it's actually very easy to let these things happen, because when we are driving in snow like that, we actually are taking almost all the air out of the wheels. In this trip I was trying out my new tires, and On the old tires I did many times go down to 2 psi. Yes, 2 psi. It's almost no air, but still enough. I know it's not good treatment on the tires, but we are doing this so we can drive on the snow, and it's just part of it. But in this trip I did like maybe halfway in the snow driving I was able to be in like 10 to 12 psi have at air pressure, and when you can do that and driving on the snow, the condition is as good as they can be. The snow is hard, and yeah, but I did even find out different from the tire I did have before, where I did so many times go down to 2 psi. On this one it was actually working a bit better to have 3 psi in it, and believe me guys, changing just 1 psi in these tires can change a lot. It can be the change from be stop or go, especially when you are so low on the air pressure. That's why, like me, I have 35 inches wheels, that is 12 and a half inches wide. My rims is 10 inches wide, 15 inches high. It gives me a plenty of load on the snow, and when I'm down to 2 to 3 psi, around 3 psi, the car is actually stepping lighter than I do. And I can tell you, in one trip I did go, the car was standing pretty fine on the snow. Then I did jump out of the car, and I did sink up to my hips. That's how soft, but the car was just standing on top of the snow without any problem. This is what I'm talking about. Just remember, I was going to drop by in a hardware store. I have to buy, what they call it, just something to so I can a quick mount the adapter for my microphone on the GoPro. But by the way, yeah, and even in summertime I even take a lot of air out the tire when I'm driving up in a mountain. Even just a clear gravel road, it's just it's so much softer to drive. I'm normally driving 10 12 psi, around 12. I have been having it as a basic rule to, when I'm below 10 psi in the tire, I only keep my car in the low range. If I keep it in the high range and with this low air pressure, I'm feeling, especially if I'm driving in the snow, I'm putting a lot of pressure on the transmission. So low range, then it's much more easy for my transmission, and yeah, as well for the engine. But of course I can't go as fast, and yes, when you have so little air in the tire, you don't want to be race driving. there's a lot of things. Yeah, and in this trip I was as well learning a lot on my air system, how it's better to work it out, and as well I was trying to a little bit teaching my wife on to operate it, to give me an assist. Because if you're in that condition, you have to like be just moving back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Then you are locked on your gear stick, and then you don't totally are capable to be, especially if you're still reducing the air pressure, then you don't actually have a free hand to be letting the air out, because on letting the air out, I just have a moment on the bottom, but putting air back in, I can the bottom hold itself. So yeah, so you know guys, I have a safety feature on it, so it cannot overinflate the tire even if I forget the bottom on. The meter I have is set up so when it reaches 30 psi it shut off the inflating. Well guys, I have to drop here in the hardware store, so I will just talk to you later. Take care guys.